and welcome to What Pet Should I Get? My name is Julia Batchelor. Today on the program, Claire Fondren is here from Dogtails Rescue and Sanctuary. Later on, we'll meet Nicola and Carly Worrell from Dire Wolves. But up first, we have Emily Jordan here from the Ontario SPCA, and she has brought two very beautiful pets who are looking for forever homes. We have the most excitable Maya and Iago the bird. But before we talk about these two guys, come here, baby. I just want to do a quick update. So Indy was on the show last week. If we can just bring up a picture to remind people about Indy, our little kitty friend. What's the update on Indy?
Indy was adopted yesterday, so we are very excited.
Ooh, yeah, awesome. Now, also, last week was National Volunteer Week, and I know here at Rogers, volunteers are a huge thing, a huge part of what we do, and I know for the Ontario SPCA, it's the same. So how did you guys celebrate on National Volunteer Week?
We actually had a volunteer dinner where we invited all of our volunteers for an appreciation dinner, and we had pizza and cake and all that fun stuff just to say thank you. But it's so important to say thank you, on a daily basis, because without our volunteers, we couldn't do what we do. They're an integral part of everything, from taking animals to the pet stores to have them be adopted out there, to cleaning the animals and feeding them and all that stuff, laundry and dishes, which is the most unglamorous part of the job, but they do that and they do it all for free, so it's amazing.
Yeah, and don't forget about cleaning the cat boxes as well.
Yeah.
And I also understand too, with part of the Ontario SPCA, you have volunteers that come to the centre, but you also look for fosters too, don't you?
Actually, from the Newmarket Centre, we don't have a foster program, so some of the OSPCAs definitely do. It might still be something that we put up in the future, but right now we don't have one, and we're lucky enough that we don't really need one because we do have a big centre and are fully equipped to take care of them.
And how are you doing on volunteer pool right now? Are you looking for any?
We're always really, really full, which again is a very big blessing, but a little unfortunate for the people who want to get involved. But people come and go all the time, so there's always openings coming up, so you can always apply on our website, and then we have you on file for when we do need a new person.
And I was going to ask too, because I know that you partner with other organizations, especially through PIAC, when you're helping get animals adopted. When you have a large pool of volunteers and you guys you're at capacity, do you ever direct them to other organizations and say maybe you want to help out there, or do you try to keep them sort of in your pool?
Oh, just want to watch. She's not looking there because we did take her going off.
She just got picked.
Yeah. We have a center in Markham as well, so we were looking for volunteers for our new Markham Adoption Center, which just handles cats. So that's definitely something that we picked from as well. And then sometimes we need special event volunteers as well. So when we have the OSPCA walk or Cupcake Day, stuff like that, we look for special event volunteers as well.
Well, the walk should be coming up soon, right?
They always change it. It's either May or September.
Okay. Well, the next time that you're on, we'll make sure we have the right information, and we'll talk about that. Okay, let's talk about these guys. Okay. So Maya here, she is full of beans.
Yeah. So she's only a puppy. She's 6 months, and she's a Yorkie Dachshund mix. Super cute, obviously.
Yes.
And they brought her in because she wasn't getting along with the other pets at home. I don't know if maybe the other pets were the issue, because obviously she's only a baby. Puppy. Yeah. So you can train her. I'm sure she'd be fine with pets in the home. And also at 6 months, I'm not judging any pet owners, but sometimes the adapting a pet to a new home is not always as quick as some people want it to be. And puppies are a lot of work too, right? I think some people aren't prepared for the amount of work that a puppy is. I mean, she definitely gets a little excitement piddles and needs some work on her house training and just training in general. So it's a commitment, a puppy is. So
well, and she's very, very sweet, and she's obviously she would make an excellent addition to any home.
Sure.
And I know, like you just mentioned, she has just been fixed.
Yeah.
So she's been fixed. She's got her shots. So
microchipped. Yep.
She's ready to go. She's ready to go. All right, well, hopefully you can find a home. And now we don't really get to see birds too often, so let's talk about Iago.
So Iago's really nice.
Or Iago, I'm sorry.
Yeah, because he's really friendly. A lot of times the birds we get, they're a little bit hand shy, maybe haven't had enough socializing, but as soon as you go near the cage, he's ready to come out on your finger. I have to kind of keep my fingers hidden because my nail polish is really bright and it looks like something to chew on.
Yeah.
And that's something to keep in mind with birds. Earrings too, like anything shiny they like to kind of chew and pick at. They think it's a toy. But parrots, he's a conure, and they're definitely...
He's in the parrot family?
Yes. We don't know his age or even his gender. I'm saying he, but we don't actually know.
Well, if he starts laying eggs, we know it's a girl.
But they're definitely a long-term commitment. With proper care, he can live like 25 to 30 years.
And we don't know how old
we don't know quite how old he is. But the other thing too is that they require a lot of attention. Birds are very social. They bond to you and they want to play and talk. They can even learn words, these types of birds, like English words.
Well, I had, when I was younger, I had a cockatiel, and I believe that, now I don't know if this applies to all species of birds, but I think they said that the females don't speak, but the males learn how to speak. Is that correct?
I've heard different things. I've heard some different genders pick up words better. I have heard something like that.
Okay.
But I don't know for sure.
Well, and I know that Iago and Iago, and Maya have been interacting here, so I think I'm kind of suspecting that bird might have been raised with other animals.
Possibly,
because he or she seems very, very comfortable around this little dog.
Yeah, and it came in as a stray, so it's unfortunate that no one's come to claim him yet, but he's available for adoption if someone would like to add him to their family. Maybe
you're excited about having a dog and a bird, and so if you're interested, you can come and adopt both of them. What is the adoption fee for birds? Is it?
It depends on the bird. So I don't have a set price right now, but it depends for every bird. So budgies we usually do for $10, but parrots are a little more expensive.
Yeah, well those birds are, and if you buy one in a pet store, they're up to $1,000.
You'll definitely be getting a deal if you get it from us for sure.
And he or she is a little sweetie, and you've already got an animal that's used to humans, so you don't have to work with them a lot to have something that wants to be your companion. Now, speaking of adopting. So this month is the I Adopt for Spring, and I know that you had the sale on for cats, but you also have a contest going on. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, so it's part of our promoting Meet Your Match and promoting adoptable animals. So on our social media pages, Facebook, Instagram, when we post an animal that's up for adoption, if you share it on your site, or your page with the hashtag #IAdopt, you'll be entered in a contest to win a prize. So it's kind of getting people involved in sharing the animals that are up for adoption and helping them get, seen by different people and hopefully find a home. And at the same time, you can win. So it's kind of cool.
Well, social media plays such a huge part too, and I know that with all the online presence, I think that's really helped increase the rate at which these animals are finding homes, right?
For sure.
Okay, well, if you're interested in either adopting little Maya here, I'm just going to pick her up so everybody can get a better look at her one more time, or Iago, you can visit our website for the details, or you can go visit the Ontario SPCA location in Newmarket. It's a great place to visit. So thank you so much, Emily. And now here is Callie Milliman with this week's pet tip.
Getting a new pet is not only a big responsibility, but it is a new added expense. You want to keep in mind that you're going to want to be prepared when bringing a new pet into your home. Your pet will need to be spayed or neutered, will need their vaccinations, microchipping, may need medications. As well, you're always going to need lots of food. This is something you're going to want to budget for, so setting funds aside will really help you feel prepared for your new pet. Also, veterinary emergencies happen, so making sure you have pet insurance is going to make you feel a lot more prepared. I'm Callie Milliman with the Ontario SPCA, and that is this week's pet tip.
Welcome back. Joining me now is Claire Fondren from Dogtails Rescue and Sanctuary, and you have brought a wonderful dog, Marco.
Marco.
Now, before we get to talking about Marco, I wanted to talk about some updates because I love hearing news that when we profile a dog on this show, they get adopted, and we have a lot to go through.
We do.
We have Nemo and Fifi. They were on last week.
Yep.
If you could bring up, show our audience, remind our audience what those two adorable little dogs look like. And they've got a new home.
They do. They went home just a couple of days ago, actually, and they are the perfect family. It was love at first sight, so we couldn't be happier.
And Don, he was, I think, our very first dog.
Our first dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went to a wonderful home as well, and they actually saw him on this show. So,
love it.
Yeah.
Love it. And then Revy and Pinchy, another two dogs that had to go together.
Yeah.
And they found a home together.
They found a home together, too, our little Romeo and Juliet. Aww. So we have Revy there with a big cone on her head. She's going to be mad at me for letting that go on TV, but...
She must have just gotten fixed.
She did, yeah.
Yeah. And then our last was little Max.
Little Max, yep. And he went home this week as well.
Nice.
And he looks like he's smiling in that photo.
Oh,
he was very happy to go home.
And I know that at the sanctuary. So for people who haven't had the opportunity to visit, and I highly recommend that you do because the place is amazing, you guys also have horses, rescue horses. They're not up for adoption. They're just there for their forever home.
Yep.
And tell us the story. Now, the mama horse that you got, tell us her story.
So Beauty is a horse that we actually rescued back in October.
Yep.
So what we do with our horses is we go to auction and we bid directly against meat buyers. So the horses that we have are horses that would otherwise have been slaughtered for meat.
There's a picture of her right there, and like, can you imagine? Look at that horse. She's gorgeous.
Yeah, so we went, we brought Beauty and 19 other horses back from auction in October, and at the time we had no idea that she was pregnant. So about a month later we had a little bit of a surprise. And on Tuesday, this past Tuesday, she gave birth to a beautiful baby boy.
Aww, that's so exciting. Is this your first foal at the shelter?
We had one other, Gigi, in the summer, and it was a similar situation. So we bought Gigi's mother from auction, and the auctioneer and the people there had no idea that she was pregnant as well. So in saving both of these horses, we ended up saving two horses. And I mean, to me personally, it's quite disgusting that these horses are being put up for auction pregnant.
Yeah. That's now I know that the baby doesn't have a name yet.
No.
And you're looking for name suggestions.
Yeah, we're looking for suggestions. So if anyone has a perfect name for him, go to our Facebook page.
Yeah, it's an opportunity. You might have to pick the name and right on. I know. I think I was looking at the your Facebook page, and there was somebody had picked a name. It was a Hebrew name, and it was really pretty. I can't remember what it was off the top of my head, but I have a feeling this horse is going to end up with a Hebrew name. Yeah, something tells me. Yeah. Okay.
We'll see.
Yeah. Let's talk about Marco. Now, as maybe our audience can see, that Marco, he's an interesting-looking dog. Now, what's his story?
So Marco is a rescue from Miami. So Marco, during our last visit to Miami, he was on the euthanasia list, so we brought him back with us. Marco, as you can see, was born with a birth defect. His left leg is a little wonky, and in order to compensate, his right shoulder has become super muscular. We've nicknamed him Popeye. So, you know, the funny thing with Marco, though, this disability does not slow him down in the slightest. He is probably one of the strongest dogs at our shelter right now. He's a happy boy. It's funny because dogs don't care about disabilities the way you or I would if we had a problem walking.
They compensate very well.
Exactly. They are very resilient dogs.
And there's obviously, if somebody who's interested in adopting him, they're not going to have to be concerned then about anything about his mobility or anything. He's just he's good to go, right?
He's good to go. Super slippery laminate floors can be a bit of an issue for him, but, you know, he gets over that pretty easily as well. So he's a perfect dog.
And how long has he been at the sanctuary right now?
About 3 weeks now.
Now his left leg, his foreleg here, that is deformed.
Yeah.
Would you guys consider amputation, or is he just going to have his leg for the rest of his life like that?
So it's something that we're talking to our doctor about right now. If amputating it would help him with balance, then it's certainly something that we would explore. However, that leg doesn't really seem to be getting in his way or causing any issues. So it's something we need to look into a little bit more, but we'll probably be keeping him as is.
Yeah. But I know the one thing that still has to be done is he needs to be fixed.
He does.
Yeah, because none of your dogs leave the shelter neutered or spayed, right?
We spay and neuter all of our dogs. So he is actually getting neutered this Wednesday.
And he's a little love bug. What a sweet dog. And, you know, as we say, you have a lot of dogs at Dogtails looking for forever homes. And I would assume that they're pretty much all of them are well socialized. How's he around the other dogs?
He is amazing with other dogs. Yeah, he is perfect with other dogs. He loves to play. So if a family is interested in him that has another dog, we can certainly set up an introduction.
Okay. And what about, has he been around children? Is he good with kids?
He's good with kids.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned, he's very, very strong. So he isn't a dog that, you know, a 6-year-old could be walking down the street. He would definitely pull them over. But he is wonderful and friendly and affectionate and would be a good family pet.
Okay, so awesome. So, you know, we say it every time that Claire's here. Every Sunday, Dog Tales is open to the public. So if you want to come and meet Marco in person and see the grounds, visit Claire. From 11 till 5,
11 to 5.
They're open to the public. Just check our website for details. Thank you so much, Claire, for being on the show. And now, this is Dr. MJ Winters with this week's Vet Tip.
As we know, exercise can cause tendon or ligament injuries when you are unfit. One such injury is cruciate ligament injury, and many of our canine friends deal with this annually. So, before you start back on those 10k walks, here are some points to consider. Most of this applies to dogs more so than cats. Get a weight for your dog. Has their weight increased over the winter? Gradually build up the exercise. Slowly build up the muscle mass again. If you have an older pet, consider hydrotherapy or swimming initially. This is for those pets who like water. Hydrotherapy or swimming is less stressful on the joints. Consider joint supplements such as omega-3 oils. Unfit or overweight dogs with poor muscle mass are more subject to cruciate and other ligament injuries. They often require surgical intervention and have a long road to recovery. Older pets may well have reduced muscle mass. This reduced muscle mass can put pressure on the joints and result in greater arthritic pain. Gradually building up the muscle mass again will help protect the joints and improve the quality of life. And remember, prevention is better than cure. I'm Dr. MJ Winters at the 404 Emergency and Referral Clinic, and that's this week's Vet Tip.
Hello and welcome back. Joining me now is Carly Whirl and Nicola Sard from Dire Woofs. Welcome back to the show, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, you have brought 2 wonderful dogs back from your trip to Mexico, but before we get talking about that, I wanted to do an update. The last time you were on the show, you brought 2 dogs. You brought Bonita and you brought Cairo. So let's bring up a picture of Bonita to remind everybody how cute this little girl is. Tell me, is she still looking for a forever home, or has she been adopted?
She has been adopted.
Oh, great news.
Yes.
And, oh, look at her face. She's so sweet. And Cairo from Egypt.
He was also adopted by an amazing family.
Excellent.
He had to have quite a bit of like surgery and things like that done, and he's all good to go and loving his new home.
Well, he had quite the journey, right? I mean, he came all the way here from Egypt. I know that one of his legs was badly, I guess he was probably born with a birth defect and had to be amputated, and now he's adjusted to getting, well, he's probably always had to get around with 3 legs. But now he's just happy living in Canada and has a new family.
And he even has an elevator.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
Sounds like he went to a posh home.
Yeah, and he doesn't have to take the stairs. So it's perfect. Yeah.
Okay, so I was talking about earlier with Emily from the Ontario SPCA, we were talking about National Volunteer Week, which just passed. And I wanted to mention this to you, or ask you about this, because I know Dire Woofs is an organization founded by both of you, and it's all based on nonprofit and volunteers.
Yes. Yep.
Talk to us about volunteering at your organization.
So basically we need volunteers always for reference checking, for admin work, for fostering these great little guys, and for pretty much every single job you can think of in an organization. And all of our volunteers are great. We love them all. We try and they're all done so much work for us, and without our volunteers we wouldn't be half as large as we are, and we wouldn't be able to save all the lives that we've been able to save because we wouldn't have the manpower.
Yeah. Well, so. How big is your volunteer pool?
Right now, I think we are at, let's see, we have 35 foster homes. So those are volunteers as well. We also have roughly around 20 reference checkers, 15 home visit people, I think.
And we have about 12 managers?
Yep, 12 managers.
So you got a large pool, but would you say that you're always looking for more people?
Always,
yeah.
Because, you know, a lot of our fosters, for example, they have to take time off because they have
travel issues, or they foster fail, which is great for the dog, but you know, then we need a new
foster fail, which means they were adopted.
Yes.
I know, foster fail, you're like, what does that mean?
Yeah, it's good. No, it's really great. And then, you know, for different areas of the city, we try and have home visit people around that area, and if we can get more people in that area, we can adopt more dogs out to that area as well. So
we have a great group of ladies who meet every Monday. They're called the Ruff Sisters, RUFF, and they have dinner together, and then they call tons and tons of references for us.
Excellent.
Yeah. So we have lots of fun sort of programs running and ways to get involved that are quite engaging.
Well, I know also Dire Wolves is, I mean, you guys are not for profit.
Yeah.
And you need to, you know, raise the funds to do what you do best. And I know you travel far and wide, as stated here, with our 2 dogs from Mexico. Fundraisers. You have one that's going to be happening soon. Talk to us about this online fundraiser that's going on.
We've been collecting designer goods, jewelry, bags, shoes, clothing, and we're going to be having this online fundraiser of all these designer goods starting probably in about May the 1st.
May the 1st, okay.
Yeah, May the 1st.
May
so
the 1st.
if people want to just, they'll go visit the Dire Wolves website, and then they can bid on these items. And I imagine you're probably looking for items for donations still as well.
Yes, we are.
Always looking.
High-end, though.
High-end,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, you were recently on a trip to Mexico.
Yes.
And you've obviously brought back, and was it just these 2 pups, or did you bring back a cavalcade of dogs?
So we brought back 3 the first round when I went, and then Nicole brought back 5. She just got back last night. And we have actually a whole bunch more coming. We pulled them, and we're just waiting for medical to be done before we can bring them into Canada.
They have to get all their shots and everything before they can clear customs.
Spayed and neutered, things like that.
So you know, if you do adopt a dog from Dire Wolves, that they are clean bill of health, because they had to go through the border to get here.
Yes.
So talk to us about the 2 dogs that you have with you now. On your lap, this is Vanilla? Or is that Vanilla?
This is Vanilla.
That's Vanilla.
And this is Lana, who's fallen asleep.
Aww. Now, Vanilla and Lana are mom and daughter,
yes.
but they don't necessarily have to go to a home together, right?
No.
They don't.
So talk to us about Vanilla first.
She is about 1.5 years old. She's 1.5 years, and
she started having babies pretty young.
Yeah. And she's just like, she's so cuddly and adorable.
She's sweet.
And we think that she is some sort of a terrier poodle blend.
Yep.
And she gets along with other dogs. She's amazing with children. And she was great with the vet, the cat at the vet's today. So hopefully she's okay with cats too.
Well, she seems to have a really calm demeanor. Like, I know we say this quite often on the show, when animals come here, it can be a very stressful environment for them. But as you can see by these 2, they are very calm and very relaxed. I mean, Lana is asleep.
Yeah.
How old is Lana?
So Lana's about 10 months old. And she is almost fully grown, as you can probably assume, and she's gone through all her vetting and everything. She is a lot calmer than her mom. Her mom isn't crazy or anything. It's just she's very much a terrier, and so very high energy.
Likes to dig.
Yeah, and likes to run. And Lana just kind of looks to her mom for leadership on all that. She's very much a very submissive dog, and she's a lot calmer, as you can see. But she's a really great dog. She'd
make a good, you know, single family home. But she'd also be good with other dogs.
Yeah,
too, right?
great with children.
She's really good with kids too.
My kids have been carrying them around all day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She's falling asleep too. Look at that.
So yeah, they're both really great dogs, and they're just kind of a small example of what we can get from Mexico and what kind of dogs they have.
How long have you been partnering with the shelter in Mexico to get dogs here?
Not very long.
No, about a month, really.
Really?
And we decided to go down ourselves, because we'd like to meet the people we're partnering with, you know, even just like a first introduction to see what kind of facilities they're coming from and what kind of people we're actually working with. Put a name to a face, really.
Yeah.
And Air Transat flies the dogs back for free.
Yes.
And they give us waivers to take supplies to donate to all of the shelters.
Excellent.
It's incredible.
So I know that on May 1st you have an adopt-a-thon coming up. So are these dogs going to be available?
They'll probably be adopted.
Hopefully, but if you are interested in adopting any of the dogs at Dire Wolves, because you guys are always getting dogs in,
always.
Visit our website. You can link onto the Dire Wolves website. You can find out about all the locations that they do their adopt-a-thons. Support this wonderful organization. If you want to donate funds. They're looking for that too. Want to volunteer and be part of this organization, please just visit our website. Thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you.
And I can't wait to see you next time.
I don't know, it'll be new dogs.
New doggies.
Yeah, new dogs. From all of us here at What Pet Should I Get, we'll see you next time.